Takes to the shocking news that 9 members of the Israeli Olympic team have been kidnapped in the early hours of the...
Tonight, we stay with them, and we shut them down.
The fans here have an extreme case of Jamaican fever.
Al, so do I.
No. So do we.
It'll be great to win in these pants, and it's going to be terrible if we lose.
But it's all about Usain Bolt. 2 meters clear, 3 meters clear, 5 meters.
We're going to put Canadians first, the fans, and give them a chance to program our Saturday nights.
The introduction of Olympic televised broadcasts is a huge game changer because it altered the entire viewing experience. Since the introduction of televised broadcasts, we have seen the addition of visual and audio stimuli along with extensive sport analysis through broadcaster commentary. People who tune in to watch the Olympic coverage do so to watch the Olympics as a spectacle, not only a sporting event. As a result, televising the Olympic Games has allowed the event to be viewed by a global audience and therefore has reinforced the event as an international brand. We will now take you on a brief tour through history as we watch how television has made the Olympics what it is today. Let us now take a look at some field hockey coverage from the 1936 Games in Berlin.
The final of the Olympic hockey. The wonderful Indian team in the white shorts, who so far have scored 30 goals to 0 in the tournament, are playing Germany. India score. India score again.
The 1936 Games in Berlin were the first games to be broadcast in any form. The coverage was broadcasted to the athletes' village and a few viewing rooms across Germany. We see that the footage is very basic and highlights the sports themselves rather than the Olympics as an entity. There is limited commentary and therefore minimal incentive for those who are not involved with the sport to watch the coverage. There are also a lack of visual or auditory cues that would further captivate any kind of audience. Let's now move along 28 years and look at some footage from the 1964 Innsbruck Games.
A picture of 4 men on their way to a stunning Olympic upset. The Canadian 4-man bobsled team on their 4th and final run brings Canada its first Olympic gold medal. The wearers of the Maple Leaf thunder down the course to win by a fraction of a 1 second. Then it's the United States slalom team that mounts a surprise. They were given little chance in the downhill test until Jimmy Huega of California came dancing through the gates. His fast final run assured him of 3rd place. Then the crowd really took notice when Billy Kidd of Stowe, Vermont came flashing down the slope. His performance was so brilliant that he placed 3rd in the combined alpine standing while he takes 2nd place here. And here's the gold medal run of the winner, Joseph Stiegler of Austria. He was pushed by the 2 Americans to put on a breathless performance. Stiegler almost didn't make the team. It was only public pressure that forced Austria to place him in this event. Kidd, Stiegler, and Huega. The silver and bronze are Uncle Sam's first medals in Olympic alpine skiing competition. Manfred Schnelldorfer of Germany pirouettes his way to the men's figure skating championship. In both compulsory and freestyle, he puts on a performance that had the spectators breathless.
In this footage, we begin to see more of a shift away from simply sports coverage and towards the Olympics as a multinational event. The picture here is still in black and white. However, the highlights are shown with a bit of commentary, and we begin to get more insight into human interest pieces with the intent of captivating an audience. We will be moving along now to investigate some footage from the 1984 Olympic Games in Sarajevo.
You're looking at a map that will give you an idea of where today's first alpine competition of these Olympics will take place, the women's giant slalom. Yahorina is located some 24 miles from Sarajevo, about an hour's ride by van, or some 45 minutes if you've got a red-hot Yugoslavian road surgeon like we had this morning. That's the women's giant slalom course you see right there. This is the first Olympics where the women's competition and the men's competition will take place on different mountains, with all the women's events scheduled here at Yahorina and the men's at Belashnica. A large contingent of spectators are on hand already for today's race, and many of them Americans. They've started to line the course, and that unique electricity that always precedes an important alpine event is really in the air. Hello again, everyone. I'm Frank Gifford, along with Bob Biatti, standing at the finish line of the women's giant slalom here at Yahorina, and we finally got an event to bring you. It's been a very...
In this clip, we can clearly recognize the use of visual cues and more in-depth commentary, aiming to captivate the audience and give them a sense of the atmosphere at the event. In this coverage, we also start to get a real sense of the effects of nationalism that broadcasting can have on media coverage, as the broadcasters highlight American spectators and athletes in particular. Similarly, this clip highlights how broadcasting can, whether intentional or not, reinforce gender bias. In this particular footage, we see how men and women will be competing on separate mountains, which suggests that there are obvious differences between how women are able to perform compared to men. We also see in this clip the more frequent appearance of the Olympic logo, a clear indication of the Olympics advertising itself as a multinational brand. Finally, let's take a look at a brief clip from some 2010 Olympic coverage.
Today's Olympic coverage on NBC4 is brought to you locally in part by Chrysler. Visit us at Chrysler.com or see your local dealer today. By Omega, official timekeeper of the Olympic Games. By 24-Hour Fitness, proud sponsor of the 2010 Olympic team. And by Samsung. Follow all the Olympic action on your Samsung Mythic phone. The 21st Olympic Winter Games on NBC are brought to you by Carnival Cruise Lines. Fun for all for fun. By Green Zone starring Matt Damon in theaters March 12th. By Sudafed PE Triple Action. Rescue from the sinus triple threat. Use only as directed. And by Toyota. Moving forward.
From this clip, it is easy to see that the Olympic coverage has become exponentially commercialized and has truly changed the viewer experience. The increase in popularity of the Olympics due to the television broadcast has made the Olympic Games the prime spot for advertisers. The historical footage of Olympic broadcasts clearly shows the Games' changing effects that television has had on the Olympic Games. Why? Because of the way it has changed the viewer's experience. The addition of visual graphics, audio clips, and commentary of the event have changed the Olympics for not just sports broadcasting, but for broadcasting footage of a global spectacle to an international audience. The result? As the Games now appeal to an audience of a global proportion, the Olympics have become a platform for reinforcing the many political, social, and cultural ideals of the age.
Some examples of these include how we see the effects of nationalism in Olympic broadcasts, how these broadcasts may reinforce gender stereotypes that are already present in sport, and many stereotypes that we associate with different cultures and sports. Without the television, many of us would never have been able to witness some of the spectacular athletic achievements, political movements, or social phenomenons that have occurred during the Olympic Games. And without television, the Olympics would not be the huge spectacle that we know and love today.